Hey guys, Matt from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game Podcast here, going to be doing a deck profile, or more of a deck sketch, on a concept that I came up with a little while ago. I just wanted to have some fun. It's a Beelze, Pleiades, Michael deck, so the objective of the deck is to summon those three monsters as easy as possible. I really like those three because they invalidate a lot of problem situations that people get into. Beelze because it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effect. Pleiades because it returns cards on the field to the hand, so it avoids destroying them. And Michael because it banishes things from the game, so it again avoids destroying them. The only thing that the three monsters don't really tackle, the only problem that kind of gets in their way, is cards that cannot be targeted. But then again, Beelze just sits there as a monster that can't be destroyed. And then you have something like Monarch Stormforth that can, it's non-targeting removal, so it works to kind of circumvent that whole situation, but I'll get into that later. So in order to summon the two Synchro monsters, Michael and Beelze, I use Junk Synchron. It's a level 3 Dark Tuner that works for Beelze because it needs a Dark Tuner monster in order to be summoned, and it works for Michael because it just needs any random tuner. It's also probably the most accessible of the level 3 Dark Tuners. I think there's Gale and Black Salvo. Let's find out. And Gale is good, but it's not as accessible. And Black Salvo, I mean, it doesn't really get you things that you absolutely need. So level 3 Dark Tuner. Genex Controller, blah. Birdman, you can only have one. Resonator, blah. So yeah, there's not a whole ton. Junk Synchron can be searched by Reinforcement of the Army, and it can be searched by tuning. So you basically ask for Junk Synchron, and you get it. The other reason why Junk Synchron works, you can use Rhoda, and Michael has to be summoned with a light monster, in addition to its non-tuner, so level 3 plus level 4 equals level 7. I use Photon Thrasher and White Dragon Wyverburster. Thrasher is a warrior, so it can be searched by Rhoda. As a special summon monster, so you can summon it when you don't control any monsters. You can summon Junk Synchron, and then you can Synchro. Done. Michael. Same thing with White Dragon Wyverburster. It's also a special summon monster. You banish a dark monster in your graveyard to put it on the field, and then you Synchro with it, and after that you get Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. So it's a way to kind of mitigate, putting two cards together to make one. Black Dragon Collapse Serpent can be used for Xyzas later on, or as a beat stick or a floater, so it just makes sense. And one normal summon plus monsters gets you Michael. And then with Beelze, you need a Dark Tuner, so I'm using level 3 Junk Synchron, and then a level 5 monster. So I chose as many special summon level 5s as I possibly could. Artifact Moral Attack and Sanctum, monster that special summons itself basically and does some work once it gets on the field. Ghost Ship, another level 5 special summon monster, summoned by banishing a light monster from your graveyard. The other thing is that tuning puts cards in the graveyard that might be helpful for Wyverburster, Collapse Serpent, or Ghost Ship. So banish a light monster, put it on the field, Synchro with Junk Synchron, Beelze. Another card that we don't have yet is Galaxy Soldier. It came out in the OCG Primal Origin. We didn't get it, which really sucks. It's a really cool card. It's another special summon, light level 5. You send one other light monster from your hand to the graveyard, then you can special summon and face up defense position. And when you do that, you can add a Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So any Galaxy monster, so you can add a copy of itself, which is really good because it's another way to mitigate putting two cards together to make one. And then I have Garbage Lord. Garbage Lord is kind of a half and half, half good, half bad monster. Still a special summon monster, but you have to take a 2,000 life point hit to summon it. But for that, you get a 2,400 defense monster, and that's pretty hard to get over without synchroing or Xyzing, which Michael and Pleiades kind of invalidate. So it's kind of a juggling act. But the reason why it's in here is because dark monsters don't go to the graveyard supernaturally in this deck. If you're not using Junk Synchron to Synchro, then you're not going to get a dark monster in the graveyard for White Dragon Wyverburster. So using Garbage Ogre, which you can discard from your hand to add Garbage Lord, which you can then special summon either as a defensive wall or to synchro with, just gives you a little bit more speed to get to where you need to be. So that's all of the synchroing. So obviously for Pleiades, you need 2 level 5 light monsters, Ghost Ship, Galaxy Soldier, Moral Attack, all monsters that special summon themselves, all things that are pretty easy to deal with. And so that's all of the monsters. And as for spells, obviously Reinforcement of the Army, Searches, Tuning, Searches, puts things in Graveyard, Theosophy, Artifact Sanctum, Searches, Moral Attack, does work. And Torrential, Beelze doesn't care about Torrential, doesn't get destroyed. Pleiades kind of doesn't care about Torrential because it can target itself to bounce itself back to the extra deck if it gets in trouble. And then you just lose Michael if you have to Torrential while it's on the field, but that's not that big of a deal because it's Torrential. Compulse, because it invalidates things, and then the Monarch Stormforth is the non-targeting destruction that the deck has, also a way to get some of these big giant monsters out of your hand. And it's another way for you to impact your opponent while you don't have the Michael or the Pleiades. And then Deprison, because why not? So yeah, that's just an idea I had, a deck that I wanted to test out because I wanted to see how funny it would be to run those 3 specific monsters in an extra deck and see how they could support whatever kind of deck that was created. And it worked out pretty well. I had fun. It's pretty awesome being able to summon these 3 giant threats all, within a couple turns of each other. So check it out, make your own ideas. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.